Welcome back to Dinner Time Devotions at the Chapel. This week we're looking at Romans chapter 16. It's a listing of 27 names of people. Most of them we know very little about. They're just mentioned this one time in the Bible. But they were names that mattered to God, and He had the Apostle Paul write them down as a way of reminding us our names are known by God and He cares about us. Two of the people that we meet in this chapter of Romans 16 are a husband and wife team by the name of Priscilla and Aquila. Now here's a little interesting tidbit. We call them Priscilla and Aquila. Sometimes the Bible calls them Aquila and Priscilla. But what we're finding is that sometimes she is put first in the listing of the two of them, giving us a clue that she was a strong leader and her influence would be recognized immediately by putting her name first. The Bible says that they put their lives at risk. Paul said, they risked their lives for me. It's actually, this exact translation would say, they put their necks on the line. They saw Paul in some type of situation where he was in danger and needed to be rescued. If you know anything about the Apostle Paul, he was arrested in many places. He had been stoned, he had been beaten, he had been shipwrecked, and people cared about him. Few people knew him as well and cared about him as deeply as Priscilla and Aquila, who gave their lives for him. What are you willing to give your life for? We are fast coming to a culture where Christianity is no longer the dominant way of thought. And you may not be asked to give your life to Christ or give your life for Christ, but you may ask to give your testimony in an environment that's not friendly to Christ. You may have people who will treat your kids differently because you go to church and they think that's socially odd. You may have people in your family who think, boy, you were a lot more fun when you were a drinking buddy, and now that you've got Jesus, you're no fun at all. You're going to pay a price to follow Christ. It'll be worth it, and God will know it, God will remember it, and He'll write your name down as someone who took and risked their necks for the gospel. Before I sign off and say goodbye, let me remind you of the food drive that's going on here in the chapel. It's really a citywide effort. It's not just our church. Many churches and many ministries are helping. This is a time when people are really counting on the kindness of others, and we want to be the hands and the feet of Jesus, and this is one of the best ways I know to do that. If you need more details, call the chapel office any weekday, 625-6200, and they'll give you more details.